next up, I'm going to bring Stephanie Castaños from Resilient Coders, also a new arrival to Philadelphia. Stephanie's the Director of Community Engagement from Resilient Coders. I'm going to pass it over quickly to you. Take it away, Stephanie. Welcome.
Thank you. Sorry, it takes me a little bit of time to get the camera going and everything. I'm super happy to be here. Thank you, everyone. I agree with Sandy, our keynote speaker. I have a board of directors. I have the people who are my cheerleaders, are the people who are critical of, the decisions I'm trying to make. And then I have my mentors who are helping me through my career. So definitely go for the board of directors. And Jesse, learning how to learn, like that's so key. That's something that we start from the beginning of the program. But without further ado, let me hit my presentation so I can share a little bit with you all about Resilient Coders. And all right, I think everybody can see my screen right now. And I'm gonna hit present. All right. So Resilient Coders, my name is Stephanie Castaños. I am the Director of Community Engagement. My pronouns are she, her, hers. We are a workforce development organization. We train young Black, Latinx, and other underrepresented people in tech with software engineering skills. And then we connect our students to job opportunities. Now, our why, for me specifically, and I believe for the founder, and I know for the founder, our executive director, David Delmar, and Leon Noel, who is our managing director and the instructor of the program. All of us were working in tech. And so we saw that there was a lot of people that didn't look like us. And we were there, we were hearing about diversity and inclusion initiatives. We were like hearing about like, yeah, we're gonna hire, Black and brown folks. And then none of the tech companies were actually doing that. And so over the years, we've just been hearing like, let's talk about it. Let's, have a discussion. And so it got to a point that our executive director was like, you know what, let's actually do something about it. He used to work at PayPal. He was a designer. And he decided to start this organization called Resilient Coders. And let me click in here. The other reason why we decided to create the organization was because we saw a lot of our communities of color were being affected by the rapid change of technology. All these jobs, that are being occupied right now by Black and Latinx and just our communities are all been automated. If you think about the last time you went to CVS, Walmart, or Target, any kind of like retail store, most of them already have those self-checkouts, right? If you go to just kind of like, if you go to like any of those stores, like that's already happening, right? So you're already seeing that change. And then recently, over the past few years, Lowe's introduced a robot. And this robot not only helps you find what you need in the store, but they actually track the inventory of the store. So there's no need for those overnight shift people who are there counting what's going on in the store. This robot that Lowe's introduced like probably about 4 years ago literally scans what's going on and like what's left of inventory, which is so wild, right? And then UPS just invested in this company that I have right here, the picture of, and they're introducing self-driving trucks. And they're already, I don't know if you know this, but the #1 job for a Black male is in the transportation system. So it's like driver, any kind of driver. And so that's already like, those jobs are already been eliminated. So not only are we not seeing people have access to these tech jobs, but we're also seeing the jobs that are already available out there for our communities are being automated. And so that's kind of like what Resilient Coders, kind of like what led our founder to start Resilient Coders. So we are a 5-month free bootcamp program. Free is free, no tuition, no debt, no like income sharing agreements, like you have to pay us back after you get a job, none of that. We provide a $500 biweekly stipend Nobody's gonna get rich off that. But it's something that we hope that it allows you to focus on learning without having to worry about a bill or just something that will help you just stay with us and dedicate those 5 months to our program. We teach full stack development. That means back end and front end. And we can let you borrow a laptop if you need one. Obviously, for the duration of the program, our program is a free program, so we do need those laptops back for the next cohort that comes in. And then we offer job search support, and we also do post-program support. So not only we help you to get a job, but also like even after you're placed, we need to make sure that you are successful in the job. So the eligibility requirements. You do have to have a high school diploma or GED. You need to identify as a person of color between the ages of 18 and 30. We just launched in Philly this year. We've been around in Boston for, I believe it's 5 years now. And then we just expanded to Pittsburgh. So this coming up program that we have, it's gonna start in July through December. And by the way, we have 2 programs per year, one January to May, and then another one from July through December. So this coming up one, we're gonna be launching in Pittsburgh as well. All of our students are from low income backgrounds, and you should be ready and eligible to work in this country. The other thing is like you have to commit. So a lot of our, some of our prospective students, they want to go back to school after finishing our program. Unfortunately, like we need you to start working right away, right? So we're training you to become a software engineer so you can start your new job as a software engineer right away, right? That's our goal as a workforce development organization. And the way to apply is that you have to fill out this form that I'm going to share at the end, but you also have to attend a recruitment hackathon. You can see Rebecca here. This is like a picture she sent me when she was first attending our hackathon. Everything's 100% remote. And so when she, when I asked her like to send me one of the pictures from like her experience at Resilient Coders, she's like, I actually have one from the first time I applied to Resilient Coders. And she was attending our hackathon. She graduated and now she has a job at Liberty Mutual. So just something that it is a requirement for people to come and join our hackathon so they can experience what it's like to be almost like a day in the life of a Resilient Coder. So that all sounds nice, right? Like free, like it's amazing, but here are outcomes. So 2019 and 2020, obviously they're a little bit of different from each other. In 2019, we placed 85% of our graduates. They found a job within 1 month, and then the average salary was $98,000. Obviously, that was not the same results as the pandemic because we all know what happened during 2020, right? And so what we did see was, what happened was that all the employers that had committed to hiring out of Resilient Coders, they all dropped in April. So me and our executive director and my colleague Lexi, we all work with our employer partners, and we saw that and we unfortunately we lost all our partners, and so the May cohort ended up being 83% placement, and so which is lower than traditional, but not so bad. The only thing that changed was that it did take a little bit of time to place them. And then the December cohort, we actually placed 94%. So we did see a shift as the months went by last year. The May salary was for the spring cohort that graduated in May, we saw that the salary was $70,000, which is different than our December grads, which their average salary for them was $92,000. I just wanted to share this because I feel like we can say that we have a great free training program, but if we don't show the results and our outcomes, like we're not doing our job, right? So if you want to learn more about our impact, I put the bit.ly links in there. You can take a look and check out more about us. So the caveat, the program is so intense. It is 100% remote, which means that some students might not be able to get through it. I know I'm going over time, but it's 100% remote. So some students might not be able to be comfortable in that sort of like virtual environment. It is all day, every day for 20 weeks. There is a deadline every week, and so not everybody graduates. And so we do see a big attrition rate for our students, but we're paying you a stipend so you can focus on learning, and we expect a lot of communication for our students. And obviously, this is not just about training people, it's about the big movement. We need to have a lot more Black and brown voices. We need to train our next leaders. Paris created a company called Black Tech Pipeline, where she has, I don't know if you all heard about Black Tech Twitter, but Paris is a person leading that fight. And so you can check her out, you can follow her on Twitter. Some of our students are climbing up the ladder, becoming part of the hiring committees, becoming tech leaders at all these different companies. So it's obviously not just a bootcamp program. We're thinking about the big picture beyond the bootcamp, right? So we're thinking about a movement of bringing Black and brown software engineers into these companies and having them become the leaders at these companies. If you're interested in applying, you can follow us on Twitter and you can read a little bit about our student journey. And if you decide that you like what you're hearing and what you're reading, you can apply at bit.ly join RC. You can find the application there. And that's it. You can reach out to me at Stephanie at resilientcoders.org or recruitment@resilientcoders.org.
Stephanie, thank you so much. That was so informative. I love how you just showed the money, right? Get to the bottom line. Those are life-changing statistics. Congratulations on your success to date. I hope you see the same kind of success here in Philadelphia as you launch here and build inroads. I don't see any questions in the chat, but I am curious about I loved, by the way, how you started out with automation of jobs. We do have a lot of training programs that are leading into jobs that may or may not be here 10 years later. And I know 10 years of earning good income is in a commercial driver's license or something is nothing to shirk off. Like that's good income for a whole decade, but working your way towards software engineer is another alternative. And so thank you so much for presenting this pathway. And I don't have any questions because you did a really great job. And I love your also the intentionality around recruitment. You only have diverse cohorts, which I think is what the kind of intentionality that's the kind of focus and mission driven attitude that we're going to need to close the diversity gap in the tech sector. So thank you so much for your time. I'll wait. Question came in to the Q&A, of course, as soon as I called it out. Oh, Madeline Bayless, you want to come off of mute and ask your question? It's a great question.
Thanks. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. So again, wonderful program for everyone contributing. And I think, Anne, as we've talked, it does take multiple opportunities for there to be access first and foremost, right? So what I was interested in, I'm always in the continuous improvement mode. What are you learning from your students when you talk about the dropout, what is it that's the greatest challenge that the dropouts have? And do you see that as something that you're addressing to improve the rate of retention?
Yes, that's a great question. Obviously, instability, that's one thing. Housing, access to mental health. Housing is really tough for us to find somebody who might be okay one day and then next month being part of our program and they lost their house for whatever reasons. So I think life situation happens, not communicating and them not communicating what's going on because they don't want to ask for help. So obviously working on that trust is really important for us to build that from the beginning. And also we just partner, obviously we're starting right now in Philly and in Pittsburgh. And so we're hoping to build these partnerships with other community and other organizations that can help us provide these resources to our students. In Boston, we have a partnership with an organization that is all, therapists of color. And so now it's a service that we are able to provide to our students. But obviously, like another thing that is a barrier for us is enrollment benefits. Some of our students don't have health insurance, right? So that's another thing that while we might have an emergency budget that we raise for as a nonprofit, imagine if we were to pay for that for every single student, like our budget will just go on mental health services. So it is important for us to build those kind of relationships with other organizations that can provide this kind of support, especially because the program is very intense. So thank you, Madeline. That was a great question.
Yes, thanks, Madeline. Thanks, Stephanie, for your excellent answer. It's no mistake that the word resilient is literally in the name of your organization. And I think it's a tricky balance to, want to support your students, wraparound services, make sure they make it through, but also keep an eye on mission creep, so it's a tough balance. And it seems like Resilient Coders is trying to always manage that balance. You're doing, from what I can tell, a really good job so far. Thanks so much. I'm going to bring up, thanks, Stephanie. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Can I just share one more thing?
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Sure, please.
Perfect. Sorry. I just wanted to share, because we're in Philly right now, right? Technically I'm in Philly. And so we kicked off our pilot program, and I have great news to share with everybody. 3 of our Philly students just got job offers on Friday, and they just signed them last night. And the average salary for them, so when they start their jobs, they're going to start as $108,000. And when they convert to that job, it's going to go up to $127,000. I just wanted to share that with everybody because we are so proud of our Philly students, and we hope that more people can apply to our program now that we're launching over there.
Well, I'm so excited as a lifelong Philadelphian that those Philly students represent so well. Wow. I just got goosebumps at their accomplishment and their job offers, like truly life-changing. It's amazing. Thank you for that last word. Very uplifting. Appreciate you. Thanks.